Oh, they ain't tell y'all? You tuning into the best morning show on the globe. It's Brad and Emery in the morning, y'all. LeBron or Jordan, either one when I'm performing. Crossover, buzzer beater and I'm scoring. Bradham and Emery in the morning. Every play they on it. Every day I'm balling. Who's the coach? Who's the GOAT? Like Brady and Belichick, best show on the globe. And they embellish it. Y'all paying Ziffy, I'm Ken Griffey or maybe Mahomes. I stay in the zone, whether man to man or play in the zone. They can't stop me. Mayweather boxing, Curry with the shot, man. We just the best to be. Can we have our SP, please? This was meant to be. Every morning with Bradham and Emery.
Yes. Yes, sir. You know the vibes. Happy Friday to everybody out there. Brad in the morning. Marques, Bradham, Justin, Emery.
Yo. Got a little fact.
Ooh, I missed my facts.
54-year anniversary of the first Super Bowl.
Ooh, okay. All right.
First of back-to-back Super Bowl wins for Vince Lombardi and Bart Starr and the Green Bay Packers.
I like it.
Green Bay against the Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City Chiefs, winning it last year. Potentially, we could have a repeat.
We could.
We could have a repeat.
I don't think so, but we could.
I think that here's what it is. I think that we are going to have one of the two repeat, but it's not the one that you think it is.
Ooh, okay. Teaser.
Well, teaser.
We're going to get
It's also National Hat Day, by the way.
Nice, National Hat Day.
Yeah, I'm a hat guy. I don't know if you are. I'm a big hat guy.
I do hats occasionally. I do it for the vibe occasionally, but I'm not consistent hat wearer.
I'm a big hat guy. Today's National Hat Day, by the way.
Nice.
January 15th.
That by the way, Hat Day was a major deal in school.
Oh yeah.
Like that was the day. Like that was because obviously in school you can't wear hats consistently every day and like
get away with it.
Yeah, elementary school, whatever like that. So Hat Day was major. Like I used to always use that as an opportunity to rep my squad.
Sure.
I'm a starter kid, so the starter caps. But you had that goofy kid that show up with the goofy ears. I hate those kids. What are you doing? Why are you wearing a Disney hat? Stop it. And you had the kids that wearing the propeller on the head.
Oh, I had one of those.
Yeah, stop. What are you doing?
Oh, they were great.
Just put on your Eagles hat and shut up.
I would usually just wear my Little League hat, whatever it was.
I hate
my own hat,
Yeah, there you go. I'm not a problem. I hated the girls that would recess, take your hat and run away with it. That would invoke rage in me.
Yeah.
I couldn't stand that. And they were it was all because teachers were oh, she probably has a crush on you. I was well, this is not a way to get my attention. This is a way to make me upset. You're taking my hat. First of all, remember, you had to have the brim the right way. That was when you had to curve. You had to curve the brim.
My brims were curved so perfectly.
You got to curve. It has to be it has to be curved. It can't be a It can't be a tent.
No.
You had those people that would have their hats and try to curve them, but it was legit a tent.
We're not out on the range right now.
Right.
Okay?
It needs to be completely. It needs to be curved. It can't be tented. That's not okay. So we're gonna get into playoff football a little bit later. We got 4 big time matchups this weekend. But first, I want to run something by you.
Talk to me.
I had to go out to a supply run last night, so I had to go to the Wine and Spirits to re-up.
Okay.
So I get in the Wine and Spirits, and I'm buying whatever I need. And I realize that I need ice, and it dawned on me, why in the world do Wine and Spirits not sell ice? Why? Beer distributors do.
Do you want me to give you the real answer, or do you want me to just give you...
Don't ruin my fun. I don't want the real answer.
Okay.
Play along with me.
Okay. I don't know. I mean,
well, actually, give me both. Is it annoying to you that they don't sell ice? I think they should.
No, it's not, and it makes sense when you think about it.
All right. What are you gonna do? Ram my parade. Go ahead.
Okay. It's threefold. Okay. Number one, it's very expensive to keep the ice coolers around. Secondly,
I feel like they make enough money to afford it.
Secondly, they keep the products that that are meant to be chilled in a chilled version anyway in the cooler in the back. So you can get it chilled. Why do you need ice if the whole bottle's cold? Why do you need
at the Wine and Spirits? They do this?
Yes, in the very back. They keep it if you want something chilled, go to the back and it's already pre-chilled. You can get it cold.
What Wine and Spirits are you going to? I've
All
never.
of them. Every wine and spirits I've ever been to.
Well, this must be a special request. You can't just wander to the back.
No, it's not in the back. Like they have, like in the back of the store, they have coolers where they keep stuff. It's not in like the supply back, like the back of the store.
Where? Like what? But in what section? I've never seen this before.
Yeah, you're just not looking hard enough. Trust me, it's there.
Like there is it like you can see through?
Yeah, it's like the same thing as if you're like at like a beer cooler, like taking out like how they have the racks of beers. It's the same thing. They just keep the bottles chilled.
I mean, it makes sense. I'm not disputing it. I've just never seen it before.
No, yeah, I bought many a bottle of champagne already cold because I'm like, well, I'm gonna be drinking this shortly anyway. Why do I need to get it cold if I can buy it cold?
See, I don't mind. See, when it comes to liquor, I don't mind it being room temperature.
No, I don't mind it either
because I have ice.
Yeah.
So like it's going on ice anyway. So I don't care if it's like maybe like a bottle of tequila if you know you're going to like a party and you need that thing ready to go right then and there. So maybe that's something you use it for. But like as far as
I only get it cold if I'm getting it and I'm on my way to where I'm going to consume it. I already want it cold. Like say like for an Eagles game at 1:00. If I'm there at 12:30, I'm gonna
partake.
I'm gonna want it cold already.
Right. Yeah. And but then too like I still like you have coolers and stuff. So like if you're driving down the game, you just throw it in the cooler.
Well, if you're driving down to the game, you should go to the one on Front Street.
That's a good point also.
Like, why are you picking it up here and driving down there? Go to
because I don't like to like I'm not big on stopping if I don't have to. Like I like to get all my stops done.
Well, I hear you, but
and then so I can just drive to my destination.
This particular one
has all those things,
and it's in the shadows of the stadium. So really, you're not stopped. Like it's at your exit anyway. You're getting off at the same exit.
Yeah, I guess you're right. So what's the other reason?
Cost. It's expensive.
Expensive.
There's number 2, they do it. They already keep it cold, and then number 3, it's when you get a case of a beer, like at a beer distributor, you dump the case in the cooler and you throw it in.
Right.
Who's buying a 24-pack of Don Julio?
That's serious. That's a party I want to go to though.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to catch an invite there too.
That has to be that's a pool party vibe.
Yeah.
And you're shooting a music video.
Yeah.
You're obviously shooting a video. It's about to be a movie.
So it's just they're not selling the right kind of product for it.
All right. I mean, I guess you're right. I guess it's just more like I'm a convenience person and it'd be convenient for me.
Well,
maybe I'm the only person that doesn't think it would be convenient.
Well, like, what do you need a bag of ice for if you only got one bottle?
Because it's because I'm bringing it back to the house.
Ice? But why do you need ice here? Like, don't you have ice at your house?
I did, but I ran out. So that's why I needed more ice. When you run out of things, you need more of it.
I get that.
So now I had to go to the wine and spirits, and then I had to go to 7-Eleven afterwards. I didn't want to go to 7-Eleven. I didn't want to have to do that.
I mean,
to get the ice.
I get that. I hear you. That's frustrating.
Yeah, it is. That's all I'm saying. But along the lines of food and beverage, Whole Foods CEO John Mackey said something incredibly stupid.
Oh, let me hear it.
This was really annoying to me. So he did an interview a couple weeks ago, and he stated the following. He was talking about the health of Americans, and he basically said that Americans need better diets instead of health care. And this was his quote. "There's no reason why people shouldn't be healthy and have a longer health span. A bunch of drugs is not going to solve the problem," Matt continued. The Whole Foods CEO believes Americans aren't taking care of their body. He said 71% of Americans are overweight and 42.5% are obese. Clearly, we're making bad choices in the way we eat. Adding, it's not a sustainable path, and so I'm calling it out. Listen here, John Mackey.
Who's this guy? The CEO
of Whole Foods.
Okay, well, can I real quick in response to that? Because I'm sure you probably have a much longer, in-depth. My initial response to that is that's all well and good.
Yeah.
I will shop at your store as soon as it's not $13.99 for a loaf of bread.
Thank you. And I'm now standing. I'm standing now, people.
You're standing.
I'm mad upset about this.
I'll stand up.
Here,
he said.
We'll stand together. Let's stand together. Here's the deal. Here's the problem with this whole system. First of all, John, I don't know if you realize that, we're in a pandemic and people are struggling to feed their families with like 59-cent beefaroni, let alone shop at your expensive store. I'm a person that I try to be as healthy as I can, but I have bad habits like everyone else has bad habits. You know, that's just how it is. If you've noticed, whenever you try to eat healthy, that is the most money you ever spend in your life.
Oh, yeah.
Like they tell you, the rule of thumb is when you go to a grocery store, shop around the outside of the store because that's where all the healthy stuff is and the organic products and all that stuff like that. I guarantee you will spend infinitely more money than you would if you bought unhealthy things. That's the real problem in this country, is that there's a lot of people that I'm sure want to eat healthy, but they can't afford to. You're trying to feed your family, we're trying to feed your family of 6 on a dinner. What makes more sense? Me going, and getting all of these organic healthy products or getting a box of pasta? What's going to be more cost effective? Like, this was just a super irresponsible statement to make in the middle of a pandemic. You're sitting here high and mighty. Well, duh. Yes, obviously, yes, we have a big-time health crisis. I get all of that. And that makes a lot of sense. But when you're charging these prices to eat healthy, who's going to really be able to do that consistently?
When I worked in Baltimore, I would go out and get lunch. I try to pack lunch every day when I went to work.
Yeah.
But sitting in my office all day, I would usually end up eating it by like 10 o'clock. So by like 1:30, I was hungry again.
Yeah.
So I just stopped doing that because I would end up eating like 5 meals a day then because I would just I was eating all day.
Yeah.
So I stopped packing my lunch.
Right.
And I would just go hit the salad bar at the grocery store.
Yeah.
They got everything right there. They chop it up, and it's usually super cheap.
Right.
$4 or $5 for a massive salad
Yeah.
that you would get somewhere else for $10, $12.
Right.
So I used to go to Giant. Giant was my favorite one to go to.
Okay.
And then I guess the secret got out.
Because everyone was there.
Yeah, so I didn't have enough time to do that one anymore.
Right.
There was a Whole Foods right down the street. Like, I could walk there if it wasn't a high risk of getting run over by a car. I'd say at least 2.5 times as expensive.
Yeah, there's
not more.
No question. I've shopped at Whole Foods before.
I have Amazon. Well, at the time I don't have it anymore because I don't order enough stuff off Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
But at the time I had Amazon Prime. My salad bar should levitate off of the counter and to me at a table because I'm a Prime member with the cost that you're charging.
Right. I've shopped at Whole Foods before, and the food's delicious. It's really good stuff, and it's.
I mean,
what they've conquered.
It's all right.
What they've conquered in Whole Foods and places like Trader Joe's, stuff like that, is like healthy foods that make you like say, okay, actually, healthy food is not that bad. But if you're charging me those prices to do that, I got a family, bro. I can't be like Whole Foods is for people who don't have other responsibilities but themselves. It's not for people that have like family unless you're like doing really well in life. But if you're an average American family, you're not going to Whole Foods for groceries. It's just not happening. Because you're talking I'll tell you right now, our family, and we only have 4 people in our family, we are easily $1.50 a week in groceries. Easy. Like Whole Foods is probably like $3. You're talking like $3.
I hear you.
You seem distressed. What's going on?
I heard when you said, there's 4 of you guys, 150 weekly. I got stressed out because by myself, like that's how much I eat.
A week?
I mean,
you spend $150 on groceries a week?
I mean, no. Well, here's the way that I shopped. So
I know why. First of all,
so I stock up. I'll go to like wholesale. I go to like Costco and stock up on meat.
Yeah.
So that's where I go to get all like my meat. So
okay.
I shop for meat monthly, and then do
you have like a freezer in the basement or something you keep it in?
Yeah, in the freezer.
Okay.
Boom. Chop it. Individually portion. If I get a huge thing of chicken.
Now why?
Hold on. A huge thing of beef. A huge thing of I don't know. 3, 4, 5 different proteins. Yeah. Divvy it up. I got 25, 28.
Piece of meat.
Out of meals. Boom. Stash that away. Get a bunch of frozen vegetable bags, different things, mixed vegetables, spinach. Yeah.
Is that monthly too, or that weekly?
Like bi-weekly.
Okay.
stash that away, and basically what every week is like eggs, milk, like stuff that you
consistently that you can't store.
But when I go to the grocery store on a weekly basis, it's only probably like $30-$40. But when you take the massive run
That you make.
and prorate that all out, it's probably like 110 to like 130 a week
For yourself.
Yeah, but like as myself though, like I eat consistently like 3 whole meals a day though. Like I'm cooking breakfast and making lunch and cooking a whole dinner 7 days a week.
Right. So you're telling me when you have a family, it's only $500 a week, because other people have to eat besides you. Like, what's it gonna look like with a wife and kids for you?
I'll just scale back.
How's this gonna work?
I don't know. I'll figure it out.
You're gonna scale back?
Yeah.
You're gonna cut it back instead of doing meats 4 weeks. You're gonna do 2 weeks a week meats.
No. Like I'm saying, like me personally, I'll just consume less.
It doesn't work that way. You're not gonna be able to do that.
I might.
Habits are habits. You're not scaling back anything.
We'll figure it out.
You're not scaling back anything. You have to scale back other habits if you're gonna scale back those habits.
We'll figure it out.
I guess.
One thing that used to be clutch though, in Vegas, the first Friday of the month, we used to have it catered by one of the sponsors of the station.
Nice.
And there was always there was maybe like 30, 35 people in the building, but they would cater it for like 90 people. So there was always so much food left over.
That's what you like.
And I remember one time
Isn't there nothing better than taking food home?
I gripped one time a whole untouched tray of brisket and a whole untouched tray of mashed potatoes.
There's nothing better than that.
I ate that for like 4 days straight,
It's
but
the
I
best.
made massive mounds. Oh,
It's nothing better. It's nothing better than taking home food from a place. It almost feels like you're stealing, but it's okay.
We did a show one time at an RV convention, and the people dropped off a catered a hoagie tray.
Love a good hoagie.
So we had it there. So I was like, oh yeah, no problem. It was super windy though, so I was like, I'm just gonna throw it in the back of the car real quick. Totally forgot about it the whole time. I go to leave. I look in the back of my car. There's a whole untouched hoagie tray.
Amber's probably gonna kill me for telling the story, but
I housed it. She's
probably gonna kill me for telling the story, but you know what? I'm gonna do it anyway. we were a couple weeks ago. Her sisters came over, and it was her sisters, myself, and we were here having a couple drinks, whatever. I got a Primo's hoagie tray.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
It was for 14 people.
Yeah.
We trashed that thing in 6 hours.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Good.
And literally, like, it was like at the end of the night when we decided to have the late night munchies, it was a mountain of hoagies.
Good.
Like, it was still a considerable mountain, and we took the mountain down. The whole mountain. Like, there was no conversation. It was just lettuce and tomatoes flying everywhere.
Good.
It was a whole thing. It was amazing. But
I will punish a Primo's hoagie.
Yes. They are top of the top notch.
I actually crushed a Primo's hoagie last weekend. I'm glad you said that.
Good for you.
I'll crush a 2-footer in one sitting.
Hey, you remember when Wawa used to do the 2-footer?
Yeah, actually, yes.
I
do.
I actually did that in my car one time.
It came in a red box.
Yes.
Yes, I did.
It looked like a baseball bat.
It did.
Yeah, I actually did that in my car once with judgment from cars behind me, but whatever.
Who cares? It doesn't matter.
So
I ate a 12 taco box in Taco Bell's parking lot one time.
Bro, that box is
That's made for one sitting.
It's made for one sitting.
Yeah,
it's not going anywhere else.
No.
So I know Christmas is a couple weeks past, but I found this interesting. I don't know if you heard about this. So there's now a movement, a petition going around, and Macaulay Culkin has signed on to remove Donald Trump from Home Alone 2.
I did hear about
and
this.
remove his cameo from Home Alone 2.
I did hear about this.
Which I want to. I don't know how versed you are on the Home Alone series.
I've seen them, but I don't remember. I don't remember them.
Well,
but I have seen them. They're one of the few movies that I have seen.
Yeah, and we're gonna get into that a little later. But so I have it like the general consensus is that Home Alone the original is way better than the second one.
Yes,
I aggressively disagree. I think Home Alone 2 is an all-around way better movie and actually makes more sense and it's more of a fantasy. Like Home Alone was like, oh man, Kevin was home alone by himself. That's amazing. Blah 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 blah. However, Home Alone 2 is actually a kid's fantasy. Think about this. Would you rather be stuck at home by yourself at 11 with, all things you see all the time, or stuck in one of the most famous cities in the world, staying at the Plaza Hotel? You got a butler giving you sundaes. You got the movies coming in. You get a limo with a pizza to take you to the biggest toy store in the world. You're roaming around the city. You get to see all the sights and sounds, all at 11 years old by yourself. That's my fantasy. And also, too, Home Alone 2 was a debut of, remember that tape recorder?
Yes.
That everyone had wanted. It was called the Talk Something. But everyone had that next Christmas. That tape recorder. Hi, kids, we're home early. Like, everyone loved that tape recorder. That was the debut of that. Also, too, the way Kevin got Joe Pesci and the other guy, Daniel Starr, whatever, the other guy, I forget their name, Marvin Howe or whatever. With the way he tricked them in that house, all the things he was setting up, that's the fantasy. That's the dream.
Yeah.
So Home Alone 2, to me, is one of the few sequels that's actually better than the original. That's my thoughts.
I mean, I'll agree with you. I've seen them. I don't really remember them. I do remember loving Home Alone 2.
Home Alone 2 was fantastic.
So I'll second that. But I find it funny that they want to take him out.
Yeah, I mean, listen.
Now, I'm not well versed in the video editing dynamics of it.
Yeah, how does that look?
I can't imagine that's going. I mean, it
was a very short. Like, he was only on the screen for like 15 seconds.
Yeah, so I'm not sure.
And literally, Kevin asked him for directions, and he says that way. He just gives Kevin a double take, like, "What is this kid doing?" And that was it. So, listen, we all have our feelings on the president, and we don't need to get into that because it's not a political show. But, however, I mean,
yeah,
I don't really. I mean, I'm not going to not watch Home Alone 2 because Donald Trump's in the movie for 15 seconds. That's not going to affect me. I'm not that petty. I have my feelings, but I can put up with 10 seconds. And if it's that important to me, I'll cover my eyes for that 10 seconds. It's not. I won't do that.
I mean, they could always cut the scene.
Right, but then what does that do to the movie? Like, it's going to look janky now because you did this whole thing? And like,
well, think about it. Imagine if you're watching the movie, and say you get up to go to the bathroom during that scene and you come back. Is the movie ruined?
That's true. But you know what? Now what's going to happen is now those Donald Trump scenes and those episodes could come like collector's editions.
Yeah.
Like the ones that have Donald. Because that's what's just happened. It becomes like a cultish thing for future generations. Like, hey, did you know actually Donald Trump was in Home Alone 2? They cut him out.
They do this. That's real big about Star Wars. They say that the original version of Star Wars, of the first movie, the one that came out in 76 or whatever it was.
Yeah, somewhere around.
They said the absolute original version is almost in non-existence anymore. Like the version you see on like Netflix or I guess it would be Disney Plus or whatever it is a remastered version. Even if you were to buy the DVD, like the 25, it's all remastered. The absolute original version is nearly impossible to find.
Are you a Star Wars guy?
Yes.
Really?
But not the.
Really?
Yeah, but
I didn't see. I wouldn't see.
But not the most recent ones.
You're original Star Wars guy.
Not original. Like I like the original 3, but then I also like the 3 from
the 90s.
Yeah, those are probably my favorite ones.
I'm out.
But I'm the 3 most recent ones.
It's not for me. I remember in the 90s they were doing the 12 o'clock movies. They did a debut. So like my friends were Star Wars people. So like, you gotta go. You gotta see Star Wars. You've never seen a Star Wars. You gotta see it. So I went and saw episode 1. Did a midnight showing that. I mean, I'm just not a huge fantasy person.
So like
I have a hard time suspending reality like that.
Like I used to go and watch because they came out every other year for a while, and then in the off years that they came out, the Lord of the Rings would come out.
Yeah.
So there was like a 6 or 7 year span where on Christmas Day, every year, me and my brother would go see either a Lord of the Rings or a Star Wars.
You're a Lord of the Rings guy too.
Yeah.
I'm learning new things about you.
But I don't really remember. Like I've seen all of them.
Yeah.
I have them all on DVD.
Yeah.
But if you were to ask me stuff about it, I don't remember.
The best midnight show I've ever been to, I did a midnight Dark Knight. That was intense.
I saw the Midnight Dark Knight. Yeah, I was there as well.
That was amazing.
I was at the Regal in Warrington.
I think that's where I was too.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Midnight show. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was a good time.
Have you ever seen a movie in theater more than once?
I can't say that I have.
There's only 2 movies I've ever done that with.
What's that?
The original Pirates of the Caribbean
Okay.
and the third Batman with Bane in it.
Okay. I saw that in the theater, but I didn't see it twice. I can't remember. There may have been something I saw twice, but I don't think so.
I saw Pirates of the Caribbean with 2 different friends groups. Like I went with one group of friends and I went with different ones. Yeah. The Batman with Bane though, I went and saw that in theaters both times by myself.
Yo, going to movies by yourself is a vibe. Yeah, I love doing that.
Yeah,
underrated.
Actually,
it's so underrated, and like I love because like we're not talking anyway. I'm here to watch the film, so I don't need to be there with somebody.
You know what else is underrated that a lot of people think I'm crazy about? Going to a restaurant and having a meal by yourself.
No, I am not that. I'm not that.
Oh
awesome.
yeah,
I can't do that.
Specifically,
I actually feel sad for those people.
Specifically, places that, like I should say, cities like I've never been. Like for the first time I was in Denver, having like a meal by yourself at somewhere you've never been. Give me.
Well, I mean, weirdly enough, if I was somewhere else, I probably could do it. Like I've never thought about it that way before. If I was in a city I'd never been to before, I could probably do it. But I was like in Philly, I would just have a fear that I was going to run into someone that knew me.
Oh,
and I'm like, what are you doing, bro?
I mean, I'll get a meal
and you'll
by
be
myself.
like, do you want to join us? No, I'm fine.
Oh yeah, no.
I'm fine.
See, the thing is that I have no problem eating by myself.
Yeah, you march to the beat of your own drum.
That's true.
You're definitely on a different path than the rest of us.
That's true.
We're gonna take a break in a second. I want to set this up for the other side because we're gonna get into the Pittsburgh Steelers a little bit because things are happening. And it is degenerating rapidly. So I want to talk about them a little bit, and then we're gonna go into our.
And I hate them so much too.
I know they're annoying. They deserve everything that's happened to them. And then we're gonna talk about the 4 playoff matchups this weekend. We'll get into that.
Some NFL talk.
And then Houston is big sad right now. So we're going to talk about that a little bit too.
Shaq weighed in on it, and
yes.
I could not have agreed with him more on his sentiments about that. So
absolutely,
me and the big man are
and we're going to debut a segment and tease another for next week. This is Bradham in the morning. It's Marcus Bradham. It's Justin Emery, and we'll be right back. Hi, I'm Marcus Bradham. I'd like to talk to you today about Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream. USA Today selected Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream as the best ice cream parlor in Pennsylvania. Uncle Mike's is a family-owned and dedicated to the production of premium quality gourmet ice cream and sorbet, made fresh daily in the premises using the highest quality ingredients available. Uncle Mike's features over 30 unique, delicious flavors offered in scoops, sundaes, shakes, and special order ice cream, cakes, and pies. Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream is located at 537 York Road, Warminster, and is open all year round. Visit Uncle Mike's and let our friendly staff serve you happiness one scoop at a time. Yeah, man. Welcome back. Brad in the morning. Marques, Brad, Justin Emery. So sometimes in life, like I understand nobody enjoys losing. Losing is something that no one wants. You don't want to lose. No one wants to be labeled a loser. Nobody wants to, at any point, lose at anything. But it happens, and you're gonna at some point take L's. That's just life. But when you do take an L, the best thing to do, in my opinion, is just to shut up. Just shut up. Like, there's nothing good can come out of losing and then talking afterwards. It's like those people that apologize to you and they say, I'm sorry, but. No, there's no buts. If you're sorry, that's just the end of it. You apologize and you move on. I can't stand the I'm sorry, but peoples. No. You're sorry, and when you say but, or you make an excuse for why you're sorry, you're actually not sorry. And you're justifying your actions. It's like losing. Don't justify being a loser. Just get better. Do better. I really hope Minka Fitzpatrick and Chase Claypool are listening to that editorial. Because what's going on right now in Pittsburgh is exactly kind of what I'm talking about, where, they have done things that's led to their downfall the past couple weeks, and now they're confused about their downfall. When we were doing the show a couple months ago, we talked about Pittsburgh, and I said that they, in my opinion, were the weakest undefeated team I've ever seen in my life.
We said that over and over.
I never believed in them. They never, to me, were doing or looked impressive at all. Like, we know how bad the Eagles season was, right? The Eagles season did not go well at all. The Philadelphia football team. Okay. We didn't know how bad we know how bad that went. And you remember that game, the Eagles were in that game to the end.
Yeah.
And even teams they never really looked impressive. You go through their resume of teams they beat during that undefeated streak. It was mostly losing franchises and teams that didn't go anywhere. So Minka Fitzpatrick said, and this is absurd, absolutely absurd. Minka Fitzpatrick said that he believes that things went downhill after their first loss to the Washington football team.
So I heard that, and I saw a lot of people complaining on Twitter about saying, "Oh man, imagine how soft you are that your season goes downhill at your first loss." Let me pause you.
Okay.
Did our season not go downhill with the first loss to the Washington football team?
Conspiracy.
Like, did our season not go
That's
awry
true.
as the same thing?
That's true. It was that first loss. Here's the difference. Here's the major difference, though. We were 0-1. They were 11-0. So while that may be true, and the Washington football team did derail our season, for them it happened 3 months later. And
that's just such a bad look.
It's a terrible look.
And they're not even good.
No.
Was that still Dwayne Haskins at the time?
No, that was Alex Smith.
Oh, it was okay.
That was Alex Smith. That was when he took over. And I actually it looked like an oops game on the radar anyway. But when you're undefeated, you're gonna have those games where you get tested by teams you're not expected to get tested by. That happens along those runs because you can't. It's hard. The reason why it's hard to be undefeated, it's hard to get up every week and have the same intensity every week. Even if you're a great team, it's just really hard to do that. There's ebbs and flows of every league and every sport, especially in football. Where week to week it just fluctuates.
And you don't need to go 16-0.
Right.
You can go 13-3 and still get the number 1 seed.
Exactly. You can be the 9-7 Giants and beat an undefeated New England Patriots team. I mean, these things can happen. It's all about getting hot at the right time and peaking at the right time. And the Steelers, they peaked too early, and they got a lot of production out of guys, and and then after Minka Fitzpatrick says that genius, Chase Claypool is now talking about the fact that the Cleveland Browns, they beat them, but they beat them classless. They didn't show class when they beat them. And they were talking too much. Excuse me, Chase? These are the same. Did you go down to the locker and see what your friend Juju was doing? dancing on logos, doing TikTok dances on logos before games, saying that Cleveland Browns going into that game were a bunch of nobodies, and they're going to be nobodies after the game, and Cleveland Browns are going to Cleveland Brown going into the game. You're saying this. You deserve that ass whooping. You deserved every inch of that ass whooping that you got. And honestly, I didn't think it was going to happen. I bet against you, and I still was happy for Cleveland. I was happy for them. I said, you know what? They deserve this. They deserve this. That was a cartoonish whooping, though.
It was the second I saw that snap go over Roethlisberger's head.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, we're in for a long night.
Yeah.
I shot off into the group chat. I was like, guys, we're in for a long night.
Right. Yeah, I mean it was 28-0 before you even had a chance to blink.
Yeah.
Like it was over that fast. And obviously it was an upset on paper.
I was trying to jump on to see how fast the odds were moving.
Yeah.
The Browns were scoring so fast that my phone couldn't load the lines fast enough to keep up with it.
Like literally every time I would check the score, it would literally be Browns 14-0 on the Pittsburgh 11.
Yeah.
Browns 21-0 on the Pittsburgh 8, first and goal. Like it was like, what is happening here? It was an avalanche. And, but that, like, I'm a huge karma person. And everything that happened in that game was directly because of your karma.
Corvette.
Exactly. Directly because of your karma. Your karma. You did this to yourselves. And let's start with your scumbag quarterback. Okay? Because Ben Roethlisberger has been doing terrible things since 2005, and nobody cares, right? Let's talk about off the field. All the awful accusations, alleged things he's done off the field. We know how he is there. And now that's starting to translate on the field. Your body can't keep up anymore. Who knows what's going to happen next year? You want to come back next year? Major salary cap hit for Pittsburgh going forward. So who knows how they're going to handle that situation? Are they going to say, hey, Ben, maybe it's time to sit down somewhere? I don't know. But it's all of this with them, everything that happened to them, they deserved it. And it's even more sweet, I'm sure, being Cleveland, because like that's one of those rivalries. It's been a rivalry, but it hasn't been competitive in years.
And they just played each other the week before.
Right. And also you had the game earlier in the season where Pittsburgh blew them out.
Yeah.
So you had that game when Baker threw I think 2 picks or something like that, and they totally blew him out. It's what everyone kind of expected to happen, and so it was nice for Cleveland to get their revenge.
It doesn't. I hate Pittsburgh. I hate, and I'm not just talking about the Steelers.
It's a bad city.
That's a broad brush.
Have you been to Pittsburgh?
Once.
So I had a buddy.
I was there once. It was 3 times too many.
I had a buddy that went to Pitt. So he was there for 4 years. So I was there at least 3 times a year. It is one of the oddest cities I've ever been to in my life, and it is very odd in the sense that I always use the analogy with Pittsburgh. It looks like someone stood on the hill and started throwing buildings everywhere.
Yeah,
like it's just random things and places, and you look at it. If you're it's very hilly. So if you go and look at it, you're like, how did all of these buildings get to these spots? Like how this doesn't look safe.
A lot of bridges.
Right. And the Tremaine brothers with the fries on the sandwich.
Yeah, they're not even good.
No.
I've had the sandwich before. It's not good.
It's not good at all. It's not good. But
bunch of yinzers, man.
Yeah, but I mean, listen. Here's the bottom line. When you lose, just shut up and go away. Like we don't need to hear. I don't need to hear from Chase Claypool talking about how the Browns are going to wax this weekend. I don't want to hear.
Yeah, we know that already.
Yeah,
we know this.
Yeah, that's a possibility. I don't want to hear from Minka Fitzpatrick. The season was over when we lost our first game at 11-1, and that's your philosophy. Then why even show up? What are you even doing here? So I don't know. I mean, for me, as far as they're concerned, go away. We'll see next year.
Yeah, exactly.
And it won't. And honestly, it's you're setting up an implosion for next year because this was their best shot, and it wasn't even that great of a shot. I never saw them as a rival and threat to the Chiefs. Did you?
No. No.
I never saw it that way.
But I was rooting for them a little bit through the course of the year.
Yeah.
Just because they got screwed by the scheduling more than any other team.
I agree with that.
They never really had a bye week.
Agreed. I agree with that.
So, but I mean, other than just as based off of everything you said, go away, be quiet, and we'll hear from you in August.
Exactly. But I am interested to see what happens with the Roethlisberger situation because I don't really know they have a choice to bring him back.
Yeah,
they don't have anything in the pipeline.
I was going to say, if he wants to come back, you have to bring him back because you have no heir apparent.
Right.
Like, it ain't Mason Rudolph.
Right.
And it ain't the duck guy.
Right.
Glad it's not my problem.
Yeah.
I'm almost.
We have our own problems.
Yeah, we have our own problem figuring out what we're gonna do about this $71 million.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you guys figure it out.
Yeah,
yourselves.
and we gotta get some accountants in here. We gotta get some numbers people because we got this $78 million situation we gotta figure out right now.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. One of the coaching candidates for the Eagles off the board.
Yes, I saw that. How bad is it that the Jets right now are a more attractive job than the Eagles? I'm sorry, the Philadelphia football team.
Right.
The Jets are a more attractive job. I'd rather go to the Jets than come here.
Yeah, that's. I mean, you even look at Jacksonville's getting their house in order.
Yeah,
They're trying to.
Yeah, I mean.
So let me ask you.
But he was never going to be a candidate here anyway.
No, I agree with you.
And I almost don't.
He wouldn't have made sense there. He wouldn't have made sense there at all.
No, and I don't think I would have wanted him anyway either.
Do you think that Urban Meyer going to Jacksonville affects the draft at all?
No, I think it solidifies the fact they're taking Trevor Lawrence.
So you don't think there's a shot at all they do with Justin Fields?
No, I don't think that I think he took the job under the assumption
that Trevor Lawrence.
Like, I'm only taking this if this is who we're taking at number one.
Okay. That's interesting because
I don't think Justin Fields was his quarterback anyway. He
recruited Justin Fields.
But he didn't coach him though.
He didn't coach him. He recruited Justin Fields there, and he also has said on record that Justin Fields is his prototypical perfect quarterback. That's the type of quarterback that he wants to have. Now, granted, listen, Trevor Lawrence potentially is a once-in-a-generation type of talent. So I don't know that Jacksonville is going to pass up on that because of the potential of Trevor Lawrence to go for Justin Fields. But I tell you what, Justin Fields' stock has risen
let me ask you this.
In the past couple months.
Isn't it a little much to want to take a job in the NFL just for a player you recruited out of high school?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I guess it depends on if you
I just
really
don't think it would
believe in
make
that player.
I mean, he would be. I mean, I think we're looking at if he does that. If he were to take Justin Fields, we're looking at like a Bill O'Brien blunder with DeAndre Hopkins level.
Yeah, I was thinking about this yesterday.
Even for everything that you've seen right now, even today, would you have drafted Russell Wilson over Andrew Luck?
No.
Even everything you know today, would you have taken Russell Wilson over Andrew Luck?
Absolutely not.
So now I understand that it's a different. Justin Fields is projected much higher than Russell Wilson was.
Right.
But would you take the number 2 quarterback over the clear consensus number 1?
In this situation, absolutely not. Because the thing is, it's the potential of Trevor Lawrence to be a once-in-a-generation type of talent. Like a Peyton Manning type of talent.
Yeah.
Like you can't pass on Peyton Manning for Donovan McNabb.
No.
You can't do that.
Even if he is your prototype.
Even if he is the guy, you're going to have to build a new prototype. Because, I was thinking, that's what I was thinking about this the other day or yesterday when all the stuff was breaking. And, even though, you see Justin Fields has made big-time strides to even be in the same conversation. Because going into this season, it was Trevor Lawrence and nobody else, basically.
Yeah.
And Justin Fields has put himself in a nice position that he's going to be taken in the first round by somebody. It's just not going to be Jacksonville.
Yeah. And if he comes to Philadelphia, I'm going to have to punch someone in the face.
There was a joke on Twitter because Mac Jones from Alabama declared for the draft yesterday. And someone just put with the second pick of the second round, the Philadelphia will select to the quarterback factory.
Oh, if they do that, I'm out.
Yeah, I mean, rightfully so.
There's also we've got a break coming up shortly.
Yeah.
I'll tease this on the other side for the other side. I might be out on a certain Philadelphia team. Like I might have to be out after some comments were made by one of the players yesterday.
Oh. All right. Are we address that first thing on the break before we get into the playoffs?
Yeah. It's just it's a little quick teaser. We got something coming up that
All right.
just.
So we're gonna get to that, and then we're also gonna get into these NFL matchups for this weekend, divisional weekend. Probably the best weekend of playoff football, in my opinion. It's Brad and Emery Morning. Marques, Brad, and Justin Emery. We'll be right back. Yes, sir. Welcome on back. Brad Emery in the morning. Marques, Brad, and Justin Emery.
You.
So before the break, you were saying you were disgruntled with another Philadelphia team.
Yeah, man.
What we got?
So we got about a month or so to pitchers and catchers, approximately.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, just about a month.
About a month or so to pitchers and catchers.
Yep.
I don't know.
We don't have a catcher.
We don't have a no. We have a catcher.
Yeah, not the catcher we want.
We have one catcher. We don't have the catcher we want.
We don't have the catcher we want.
So, Andrew Knapp, the other catcher, came out. I believe he said this. I don't know if he said it yesterday, but he said it this week, and he said, I'm not JT Realmuto. I don't know if I'll ever be him, but I'm capable of being an everyday catcher, and I deserve my chance.
No, thank you.
No. No, you don't.
No, thank you.
So
Thanks, but no thanks.
I think I might have to rescind my fandom and enter a free agency fan base for a new major league team if JT Realmuto is not retained.
How did they mess this up? How did we get here? I just don't understand. I was so when the Phillies signed Bryce Harper.
I don't want to get too deep into this.
Neither do I. But how do we get here?
Because
how did this happen? How did this happen?
It's with every team.
I don't understand how we got here.
It's with every team,
like,
Marcus.
I was told by that ownership,
Stupid money
was going to be spent after, and like, you know, the Bryce Harper contract. If you look at it, wasn't really stupid money.
No, it's actually
not
budgeted.
That bad. It was budgeted money.
Yeah,
like
it's really not that bad.
It's a lot of money, but like the contract is so extensive that, you know, it's not like it's enough money where you could spend on other players. But like I thought when they signed Bryce Harper, I was so excited. Like, okay, here we go, we're in it, we're doing it.
It was supposed to be go time.
And then you trade from a real to a first. So it's like, all right. And then you get Harper, and you're like, okay, we're doing something. And then it was like all the momentum just stopped. It just stopped. And what was the point of trading away those prospects if you're not going to re-sign him? I just don't understand.
If JT Realmuto leaves, which every day that passes, I think becomes more and more likely.
Yeah.
If I'm Bryce Harper, I'm requesting a trade.
Yeah, I mean, if I would be upset if I were him, because I mean, he listen, he's your franchise player, he's the face of baseball, has come on record and saying we need to sign JT, we need to sign him, but he's been beating the drum pretty much for an entire year.
Yeah,
and you don't honor that. You don't honor that, and another thing too, I think is weird. When did baseball free agency lapse into January and February? When did that become a thing? Like that's like usually this like free agency
that goes back to
is done in like December.
That goes back to the Bryce Harper and Manny Machado.
But yeah, right. But it's that's what I mean. It's such a recent thing. Like usually free agency was done December because guys like having guys show up at spring training late because they just got signed. That's weird to me.
Yeah, it's weird.
I don't like that. But like. Kind of where we're heading now. I mean, listen, I still am holding out hope. I think they're going to re-sign him because I think they know that this will be catastrophic for their.
They don't care because if you remember, Andy McPhail said infamously at the trade deadline,
"Keep hard on fail.
If we make the playoffs, we do, and if we don't, we don't." So they are okay floating in mediocrity.
They've been in mediocrity basically my entire life, except for 5 years. But whatever. We're going to move on because I don't want to 100% say I'm going to enter baseball fandom free agency. Yeah.
But, you know, we're looking at a player option, and the player might turn down the option.
All right. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I can say I blame you, but.
So what do we got on Saturday's matchups?
So we're going to get into football and talk a little playoff football right now. Saturday's matchup, we're looking at the opening at 4:35 p.m. Green Bay against the Rams. Rams opening up at a plus 6.5.
I think Green Bay's going to blow the doors off of them.
Really?
Yes.
I think this is going to be a little closer than people think.
No. We have Jared Goff starting at quarterback. Broken thumb. Still has pins in his thumb. In what's it going to be? Minus 10 degrees. He's not going to be able to feel the football. He's not going to be able to throw the football. I like the Packers.
I like the Packers too. And I think they'll cover, but I don't think it's going to be like 35-3.
No, I don't think.
Because the Rams defense is really, really good.
I'll go 31-14 though.
31-4. Yeah. But I see it being like one of those 31-14 games where like the Packers scored 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter.
No.
It's like 17-14 going into the fourth quarter.
I think Aaron Rodgers is on a mission.
I agree with you.
And it doesn't matter who's in front of him.
You think he's playing at that level?
Yeah.
I just have a lot of belief and trust in the Rams front four and the Rams defense to keep it closer than, I mean, you look what they did to Seattle last week. And Russell Wilson can move just like Aaron Rodgers can move. They move in different ways, but they pulverized that team. And honestly, it was mostly due to defense. I mean, the offense didn't really, if you think about it, didn't really do much. No, really the defense just dominated that team.
I don't think that there's, in my opinion, there's any doubt that the Packers are coming out of the NFC.
Really?
Yeah, I don't like you. Like the rest of the teams can just pack it in. I don't.
Well,
think
it's right. It's in front of them. It's definitely in front of them to do so.
And I think a huge part of that is their home field advantage. L.A. Warm. Tampa Bay warm. Saints.
Yeah,
dome.
but the thing is, you got Brady back there who is played in cold weather his whole life.
Okay, yeah. Brady
So,
has.
yeah, right.
What
So,
about the rest of the team has never been in the playoffs?
It's true.
And it's quite a thing to go into Lambeau for an NFC title game staring at Aaron Rodgers across the field.
Yeah, but is it the same with no fans? Like,
It's 20 degrees whether it's minus 20 degrees whether there's no fans there or not.
Right, but I think the fans play a big part into the mystique of Lambeau Field. I don't know if it has the same impact.
There might be fans. Buffalo. Let Buffalo have fans.
25%, whatever. Yeah. So maybe the game of the weekend, potential.
Talk to me.
Buffalo, Baltimore. This is gonna be a good one, and a forecast of some snow.
Doesn't matter. I love it.
It's gonna be great. I'm excited.
The 8:15 game.
8:15 game.
8:15
night game. Hopefully a little snowfall as a little snowfall football.
Game's in Buffalo, I believe.
It's in Buffalo.
Yeah, they'll have some snow.
So you know where I'm standing. You know where I'm going with this.
Yeah, I think
I'm Buffalo through and through. I still believe Buffalo's going to the Super Bowl, and it's going to be close just for the weather alone. And Baltimore doesn't get blown out.
So yeah, like I love me some Lamar Jackson, but
He's so frustrating.
Josh Allen though is on a different level this year.
He is,
and it's at home. I can't go against him.
I have a little bit of advice for Buffalo. No man-to-man defense.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh,
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
But when you look at that Tennessee game last week,
well, the thing is,
the
what
two plays
they have
on is the man-to-man. Stop playing man-to-man defense.
You know who the biggest piece for this game is going to be for Buffalo? It could be Tremaine Edmonds, the middle linebacker for Buffalo. Okay? If he can serve as the spy type linebacker, because he has there's probably very few players on the defensive side of the ball that have the athleticism to keep up with Lamar Jackson.
Correct.
But as one of the more athletic linebackers, he could keep him a little bit more honest. Like Lamar's going to get his yards. It just is what it is. He'll get his yards.
Yeah.
But he's the kind of linebacker who can keep him a little bit more honest, keep him having to use his arm. Because if you can make Lamar pass, it's over. It's a wrap, especially in bad weather.
That's what you want. I need him to throw the ball. And Tennessee in the first quarter did a great job making him do that. And that was frustrating to me, was that they went away from that game plan for really one play. And they were in midfield. Tennessee's down Tennessee's up 10-3, I believe. And then you let him score a 50-yard touchdown because you're playing man-to-man. Why are you playing man-to-man defense? Yeah. Why would you ever turn your back on Lamar Jackson? You just can't do that. You can't do that. It's zone all day with him. That's all I'm playing. You will never see a man-to-man look against me. Never.
So
it's too dangerous.
So we got Packers. I think we're both in agreement. We got Packers and Bills on the Saturday.
Yep.
Saturday game. So we're going to go to a quick break real quick. Come back on the other side. We'll do the Sunday games. We got NBA talk, and then we got a new segment to debut, and then tease another segment.
Yes, and also an NBA exec had some interesting things to say about the starting point guard for Philadelphia 76ers.
Ooh.
So we're going to
Western Conference, Eastern Conference.
We don't know.
Oh,
it's just an NBA executive. We have no idea. You know how anonymous these people are.
Right. I didn't know if he declared.
No, he did not declare. So we'll get into that also. It's Brad and Emery Morning. Marques, Brad, Justin, Emery. We'll be right back. Yes, sir. Brad Emery Morning, Marques Brown, Justin Emery.
You.
Welcome back. 11 o'clock hour.
Yes, sir.
And we have a very special happy birthday, I understand.
We do. Martin Luther King Jr.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Now, that obviously, his birthday is big enough that I could have done it as the fact of the day.
Yes.
But it also could have been the birthday. So I
Correct.
decided
to do the birthday.
to do it for the birthday. So happy birthday.
Absolutely. Big time moment in our country. 50 odd years ago. And all the impact Martin Luther King Jr. had. Looking forward to celebrating that and having some nice, deep, strong conversations with my children about the impact of Martin Luther King Jr. and everyone else of the civil rights movement. So definitely, happy birthday, MLK. So let's get back into football in our 2 matchups for Sunday.
Yes.
So number 1, we have
who's first?
We have Kansas City, Cleveland.
Yeah.
Now this on paper looks like an obliteration. It looks like an obliteration. But I'm telling you, man, like the Kansas City Chiefs to me this year have at least 3 to 4 games they could have lost in addition to the games they lost already. And I understand they are offensively superior than everyone else, and they have the weapons and blah, 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 Patrick Mahomes, all that stuff. But I have not been nearly a believer in this squad as much as I was last year. They're going to win the game. They're going to an AFC Championship game. Don't get it twisted. I firmly believe that. But I do not believe they're going to blow out the Browns. I think this is going to be a lot closer. I think it's going to be another game. It's a lot closer than people think. It's opening up. It's minus 9.5 right now for Kansas City. I think the Browns cover. I think it's something like a 28-23 type of game, 31-26, somewhere in there. I think the Browns definitely cover because the Browns have the tools, if you think about it, to slow them down because they have a superior running game. So if the Browns can if they can play some ball control and isolate Patrick Mahomes, keep him off the field, you can slow this game down and they can have a shot to compete. Will they win? No, because the Chiefs have too much firepower. But I believe the Browns keep it close.
Wholeheartedly disagree with everything you've said, basically. Well, I shouldn't say everything. I do agree with that fact that if they can keep Mahomes off the field, they can keep it close. Mm-hmm. That's about the extent of anything I agree with that you said there.
Okay, talk to me.
I think the Chiefs are going to come out and flex their muscles in this game. Home playoff game. Haven't really been playing that great for a couple weeks. Mahomes didn't play in Week 17. A lot of the offensive starters didn't
Mahomes
play.
looked human this year.
He did.
He did not. He looked like an alien.
I mean, he had great numbers. Don't get me wrong.
But he looked human this year, and he looked like an alien the past 2 years.
Yes. He, like I said, he didn't play Week 17,
right.
And he had off last week, so he's had a couple weeks off. Mm-hmm. All the offensive starters, I'm sure they're all well rested now. All them little nicks and knacks, all them bruises, they're all healed up now. I think that they come out and they just pummel the Browns. Like I'm thinking 52-17.
Wow.
It's gonna the Chiefs are gonna come out. Andy Reid, they're gonna come out and say, okay, home playoff game. We've had fans all year long in Kansas City. Mm-hmm. We have fans in the playoffs. We're coming back to repeat. I think that's what's gonna happen.
If I saw more of what I saw the past 2 seasons, I'd be inclined to agree with you because a couple factors.
I just feel that
Cleveland's win last week was so monumental for them. It almost felt like a Super Bowl. So you could have a lot of that. All right, we got what we came for.
I disagree. A lot of Cleveland starters still, mostly on the defensive side of the ball, still missed that game. They didn't have Denzel Ward.
Right.
Big time corner. I don't know if he's going to be back this week or not, but they didn't have him last week. Mm-hmm. A lot of the guys who did win, I shouldn't say a lot. A couple of the guys who did win on the Cleveland last week, they were backups. Right. So you still have starters who still want that playoff W.
That's true.
But
that is unique.
I feel like that the Chiefs are one of the few teams I've ever seen in any sport in my life that if they literally just decide that they want to flip the switch, it's a wrap. Like if they say, okay, we're coming out here.
But I feel like that's been their problem this year, is they've tried to do that, and they've been they've had,
like you said, it's hard to get up for every game.
Right.
Now,
especially when you're champions.
Now it's just for the repeat. I think it's different now. It's different
expectations for champions.
I think it's going to get ugly this week.
It's different expectations for champions. We're champions.
I also said Steelers are going to win though last week. So
right, it's different expectations for champions. Where you have champions where every week you go into a game in a battle where the team that sees you looks at you as a measuring stick. So they're going to give you their best shot because you're the champs. It doesn't matter if it's Jacksonville. It doesn't matter who the team is. You're getting their best shot. Yeah, how good or how bad they are.
I just Kansas City's they're gonna put it on them, I think.
Okay. And listen, Cleveland is a team that is susceptible to blowout.
Yes.
The way they play.
I think
because Cleveland's not a team, they can't get down 14-0.
No.
Because the way they play is ball control, play actions, let's get Baker on a bootleg, get him outside the pocket, those type of things. And you don't want Baker Mayfield dropping back 45 times. He's not going to throw with Patrick Mahomes.
If he has to pass more than 35 times, you can probably assume he's going to throw at least 2 picks.
Right. Agreed. And with this game, you're going to know a lot after the first quarter. Because if you're looking at if Kansas City starts out 17-3 or 14-3, it's done. It's done. This needs to be like a 7-6 game out of the first quarter, or fairly even, so the Browns can stick with their game plan.
And don't forget, Kansas City, if they want to slow the game down, they can do that as well. If they want to start pounding the rock, they have can never remember the rookie from LSU's name.
I know neither can I.
He's and Le'Veon Bell.
Yes.
They can pound the rock too.
Right, but they don't like to do that. That's not who Andy Reid is.
No, but I mean, if they're up 24-3,
right.
Then if you're trying to run the ball and you're killing the clock, what do you think they're going to do too?
Right.
Because it'll get to a point in time where they will get a big enough lead in games where Andy Reid will start. It usually happens end of the third quarter, beginning of the fourth, where Andy Reid doesn't mind trading field goals for touchdowns.
Agreed.
And that's where, Kansas City may have been leading, 24-3 the whole game, and the game ends 27-17.
Right.
And you're like, oh man, it's so close, but really, it was never within reach for the other team.
So listen. Personally, I'm rooting for the Chiefs. I want my matchup. I want the smoke. I'm an honorary Bills fan, and we want all the smoke.
I hear you.
We want it. I want to see that matchup.
Well, I feel like
we'll
be addressing that next Friday.
I hope so. Listen. Going back to that game briefly. This is tough for the Bills. It's not going to be a cakewalk. It's not going to be an easy game to win. And it's fortunate they're at home, but the Ravens are coming to play, and the Ravens can beat them. I don't think they will, but they can do it. But we'll see.
And then I believe the night game is the Sunrise Assisted Living Bowl. Am I correct with that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. The Christ Home Bowl.
Yes.
Yeah, you got a 43-year-old quarterback against a 40-year-old quarterback.
Did you see the picture Brady put out on Twitter?
The one with the long beard.
Yeah,
that was from his account.
Yeah, it was from him and Drew Brees. Yeah. Brady put that out.
I didn't know. Good. I know that's funny. I know. I thought a fan did that.
I don't know if he made it.
He might have retweeted it.
But he posted it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, it was hilarious. So listen, the Saints this is their last stand. They're on borrowed time. They're and I honestly believe that they're going to be put to pasture this weekend. They've been on borrowed time for a long time. They had a nice window a couple years ago and they missed out. And this is going to be the end of that window. Because after this, Drew Brees is going to retire. Because you look at Drew Brees now, and Drew Brees has always had arm concerns. That's why his draft stock went down and why he eventually got traded also. It's because of his arm issues. He survived that and proved a lot of people wrong. But you're seeing the arm situation come back to fruition this year.
Yeah.
And he can't go to the sidelines. He can't go down the field. You know what you're going to get out of him is dink dunk, dink dunk. That's what you're getting. And that's kind of what the offense become. Like, you remember the Saints offense a couple years ago was explosive. Like, they were throwing the ball. It was down the seams. And Breeze was just just seam, out route, deep route. Like, they were a team a couple years ago that could hit you 3-4 plays, touchdown.
Yeah.
Like, they were that type of squad anymore. Now they need like a 12, 13 play drive. You got to mix the pass and the run. That's kind of where they are right now. So I personally believe this is going to be the end for them. And also, too, another factor in this is that you're not beating Tom Brady 3 times in a row. It's not happening.
Yeah.
I don't see that happening. So I believe the line opened up as Saints -3, and anyone who knows anything about betting knows that's basically an even line since the Saints are home. So they're basically a pick 'em. So I go Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said about the Saints. But on the other side, I don't trust this is a game that I'm not gonna put any money on it at all. It's a game that you just watch.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think Tampa Bay is gonna win. They should win. I don't know, because the problem with both, the flaws for both teams are the same thing.
Yeah.
They have legendary quarterbacks that are clearly on the back end of their career that could just, like, there's been games this year against the Saints. Was it 33-3 when they played each other last time? Brady just didn't show up. I think he had 5 interceptions in that game. 4 interceptions in that game.
Yeah. And a lot of it, too, like, this offense is different from – listen, I will say I agree with you. I think both quarterbacks are definitely on their back end. We can't dispute that. But how can you not be on your back end at 43 years old?
But what I'm saying is 5 years ago, this matchup, the strengths of these two teams were the quarterbacks.
Right.
Now it's the weakness of these two teams. It's just which one is the less weakness, and I think it's Tampa Bay.
I don't know that it's a weakness for Tampa Bay. I don't know that
I said which one's less of a weakness.
Yeah, I feel like Brady's back end is much better than Drew Brees' back end. I think the numbers will dictate that. Brady has had a much better season than Drew Brees. Brees was out. Yeah, you're right. Brees was out like 6 weeks, whatever. But I still believe that Brady's back end definitely is better. I think Brady has shown, like, we've seen vintage Tom Brady this year. We have not seen vintage Drew Brees.
Yeah, but you can, even though you can still even see that Tom Brady's not what he used to be. Like I said, 5 years ago, these two would be headlining this matchup. Now I think it's which one doesn't make the critical noodle arm throw at the end of the game.
But Tom Brady, not who he used to be, still threw 40 touchdown passes this year.
Well, I get that, but he also threw to, a Hall of Fame receiver.
Yeah.
He's
got pieces.
He's got
Hall of Fame tight end.
Hall of Fame tight end, a 1-2 combo, but in the backfield to hand off to.
Godwin, Evans.
He's got Antonio.
Well, you still got to throw the ball though.
Yeah.
You still got to make the passes and the reads.
But it's much easier when you can sit back there, read the newspaper while your guys are completely carving up the secondary.
Yeah, no question. He's got better. He got weapons I just look at this game as I feel like you're not beating this team 3 times in a row. I don't believe at all in the Saints' ability to score at that pace, and Drew Brees engineering drives consistently to score at a pace. I think you're looking at something like a 35-23 type of game, something like that.
I think that if the Saints, you're picking the Bucs, I'm assuming.
I am, yes.
I'm picking the Bucs, though I'm not. I'm not
touching it.
I'm not touching it. I'm not the biggest. I don't have all that confidence in it. I think that if the Saints win, it comes down to Sean Payton.
Mm-hmm.
Has outcoached Bruce Arians,
which is a possibility.
Which is extreme
possibility.
So
it'll be interesting to see the back and forth between those two.
But that's the only way the Saints win this game by game. But the Saints win this game by game plan only.
Right.
They're not going to go out there and out-talent them.
And Sean Payton is a huge adjustment guy where Bruce Arians is not.
Yes.
So Bruce Arians is just, let's go out there and see what happens. This is the game plan. This is what we're doing.
Yeah.
Where Sean Payton will see something and he'll come back at halftime, maybe make some changes. He'll come out with something maybe you didn't expect in the first quarter. He's definitely he'll take the risk. The onside kick in the Super Bowl.
I was about to say he started the Super Bowl with the onside kick.
Yeah, onside kick in the Super Bowl, and then he's been prone
or
to
halftime.
He'll throw in a fake punt every now and again. Like he'll do things, and honestly, something like that may be needed to beat this team this week. He might need something like that.
So we're pretty much in agreement with all the picks. We got Bills, we got Packers, we got Chiefs, we got Bucks.
Yes.
So, yeah, we're in unison with our decisions.
This is my favorite weekend of football. I think you get the best matchups divisional weekend.
I agree.
Wild card weekend's fun because there's a lot of football, but usually it's not great.
It's
football.
lopsided.
Right, but and actually last week was okay for the most part.
It wasn't that bad, but
yeah, but this week is really the best matchups you get, and you can see it dictated by what's on the field. Now it's unfortunate with the Rams with Goff and his thumb, so that might be a.
I mean, I think we both agree that the two weakest teams right now in the playoffs are the Rams and the Browns.
I agree. But it still should be fun matchups throughout the weekend. So definitely looking forward to that. How much more time we have to break?
A little over 5 minutes.
All right. So I don't want to get into this all the way, but I'm just going to read the quote and we'll react to it on the other side.
Okay.
Let's do Ben first.
Okay.
Because this came across the timeline today. This is from an anonymous NBA executive. Absolutely obliterates Ben Simmons.
Let's hear it.
The executive said he's the same player today as he was in his rookie year.
I said that yesterday.
And teams have figured him out in the playoffs. He's why they won't go far. Wow. I mean, absolutely inflammatory comments.
So, real quick, I know we're just doing a quick lightning reaction to that comment.
Mm-hmm.
There's things I both agree and disagree with in that statement.
Okay.
I agree that he's the same player.
Mm-hmm.
I disagree with that he's the reason they won't go far, and that is because I think that if he turns it around, which I do believe that he will, he shot a 3 yesterday.
Yes.
I know.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I understand. But don't get me wrong. You got to understand. He shot a 3 yesterday.
Yeah.
What did I say? He's one of the few players who can mess around and get a triple-double just because. He got a triple-double yesterday.
Yeah.
I think that the fact that it was a very – I'm changing my stance on what I said yesterday about how I don't think it's going to motivate him.
Mm-hmm.
Changing my mind. I think it will for the better, and I think that now it's time to reap the benefits. And all of this coming out, he's heard this.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think.
And this is from and the thing, all right, I'm going to save that for the other side. I don't want to get too far.
We still got a couple minutes.
Okay, all right. Well,
this
is coming from your peers.
Yeah.
Like this is coming from people who directly watch you and are watching you in a very different light than the average fan. So it has to hurt a little bit more that you're hearing this stuff from people around the league.
I mean, is it safe to say, it doesn't say what team he's from, right?
No, it does not.
It just says
NBA exec.
So he could have.
But I'm assuming you asked the question during the break, East or Western Conference. I'm going to assume it's Eastern Conference.
Right, because it sounds like he has intimate knowledge of Ben's game.
Yes, I'm going to assume it's Eastern Conference.
So he's telling you, I know how to stop you.
Yeah.
So what's your response?
Right, and you look at the playoffs the past couple years with Ben Simmons, it's been a nightmare for the most part. And that second round, it's been that second round. You look at his rookie year, what the Celtics did to him in the second round. Brad Stevens did to him. They neutralized, took him completely out. And then you go to the following year, second round of the playoffs. You have was that Raptors year? The following year? And you have a guy, you basically were told you can't play your actual position because you're not effective there. So we're gonna create a position for you where we think you could be effective, even though you haven't done it all year. And now we're changing our entire offense because we know you cannot be effective doing this. Okay? And then last year you're hurt in the playoffs, so we don't get to see it there. But
right.
I'm assuming it would have been more the same.
I mean,
so this is
what reason do you have to assume otherwise?
Right. So this for him is a big year especially with everything. Is it fair to say that this is the most adversity Ben Simmons has faced in his career?
I'm not sure you can even compare it to anything else, so it has to be.
Yeah, is it fair to say that with – okay, I'll rephrase that a little bit. Let's trade the word adversity for criticism. Is it fair to say this is the most criticism Ben Simmons faces in his career?
No doubt about it.
Yeah, so, with that being said, people don't care anymore so much about your offensive numbers during the regular season.
Yeah.
What are you going to do in the playoffs?
Yeah.
What are you going to do when teams are game planning for you specifically?
Everybody knows you're going to make the All-Star team.
Mm-hmm.
You'll probably be second team NBA. If you have an elite season, you might be first team NBA.
Right.
But we know that when we have to play you 7 times in 12 days, we can beat you.
Right.
And how do you get past that?
Exactly. And I want to get into this a little bit more deeply on the other side.
Because your running mate right now, there's no one.
That's what I want to get into.
There's no one that can hang.
Now we're getting the meat and potatoes. Now it's time for dinner. We gave you the appetizer. We gave you the mozzarella sticks. Now it's time for the main course.
Oh, I love me some mozzarella sticks.
Me too. Delicious. Brown Emery, Marques Brown, Justin Emery. We'll be right back. Yeah, man. Welcome back. Brown Emery Morning. Marques Brown, Justin Emery. And before the break, I read a quote. I'm going to read it one more time of an NBA exec who I'm going to assume is from the East Coast. I don't think this is a Western Conference executive. I'm assuming they're from the Eastern Conference. Slams Ben Simmons. He's the same player today as he was in his rookie year. And teams have figured him out in the playoffs. He's why they won't go far. Now, before break, you started to talk a little bit about Joe.
Yes.
And what we're seeing from him. Joel Embiid is 27 years old. He is in his prime right now.
Right now.
This is it. 27 to about 31, 32. I expect him to be dominant for the next 5 years.
But do we even know if he's going to last that long?
We hope, but that's usually the length of a prime. Is like 27 and 32. And then you start to see the dip around like 33.
I've always felt, though, that Joe personally, his shelf life was shorter than the average.
I'm with you
person.
on that, but I'm just going to, just for argument's sake, let's just say it's an average prime. And that's the thing that's frustrating is that we know this, like Ben is a couple years younger than him.
Yeah.
So he's not quite there yet, but we just need more from you. And this is, again, I brought it up before the commercial break. Like, the criticism that he's receiving now is at an all-time high. Like, people now are feeling comfortable taking shots at him and comfortable poking at his game. Because what you're seeing – because here's the thing is we as fans are watching the same thing everyone else is on Twitter. We see the workout videos in the offseason. We see all the shots he's taking, the shots he's making. We're seeing all that stuff. So it's human nature to get excited about that and expect that to be translated into the year. And expect him to bring that part of his game to the year. And, I can't argue with anything that Zach said.
No.
The fact of the matter is he is still the same player he was his rookie year.
Yeah.
He came into his rookie year with all of these things. And that's why we were so excited his rookie year. We were so excited because, wow, this is his first year. Imagine him in 5 years.
Here we are.
And nothing has changed. Nothing's changed. And, you got to, like, in anything, when it comes to a relationship, a relationship between a husband and wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, a business relationship, everything needs to evolve. When it comes to the show, we're super excited about the numbers we got this first week, but I don't want to be here in 5 years with these same numbers.
No.
Like, if I'm here in 5 years with these same numbers, it's an absolute failure. I don't want that. I don't want the same numbers next week. I want to keep growing. That's ambitious, but it's always about growth and evolvement. And with Ben, it's become stagnation, where he has become comfortable in who he is and where he is. And that's the frustration that I think everyone has because we all see it. We all see how great you can be. We all see what we're capable of. We all see the fact that you were a 6'10" point guard. We all see how elite you are in so many areas. All we are asking is you to be your best self. Like, I think most of Philadelphia, the actual really good basketball fans, we don't hate Ben Simmons. Like, I like Ben Simmons, but like
it's just frustrating.
Right, when you love, it's like your children. Like when you love your children, you don't want them to, work, do something generic. You want them to do something great with their lives. And you get frustrated when you see potential in them and they don't capitalize on their potential. Everyone has that feeling. It comes to a point where potential eventually becomes a bad thing. You can't have a 65-year-old man with potential. Like, the window is shut. And, like, we're getting to the point with Ben now where that word is becoming a buzzword and a negative word instead of a positive. It's no longer a positive, it has potential. We need to see it. We need to see it. We talked about the three last night. That's great. You shot a three. But I don't want to be clapped. Yay, Ben shot a three. This should be every game. Every game you're taking 3 to 4 3-pointers every game.
You don't even have to make them.
Right. I don't care if you make them. Just shoot them.
Yeah, because if you just shoot them, that's all that matters.
Honestly, if I was a coach, I would find the nights he doesn't take 5 threes, I would fine him $500. $500 a night. I'm fining you.
No, here's what it is. I would say I need 5 threes a night.
Yep.
And it's $500 for every shot of every three you didn't take under that.
Yeah.
So if you only take 2,
there you go. Yep.
$1,500.
Yeah, I agree. You gotta do something, and here's my hope. Here's my hope for this year. This is the first year with the Sixers where there is true veteran leadership.
Yeah.
And not just like veterans that's done something in the league. Dwight Howard won a ring last year. Danny Green has 3 rings. Seth Curry is a brother of Steph Curry, who obviously is Steph Curry. So you have guys around him that's won. Guys that you have no choice but to respect. They've done things in this league. So I'm hoping these guys take like, yo, man, listen, this team can go as far as you allow it to go. Like, yeah, we have Joe who's playing on an MVP all-world level right now. And I think this is just who he's going to be this year. That's how he feels this year.
Yeah.
So we need you to step up to that level, or we're wasting this year. We're wasting this year because nothing is guaranteed. Nothing's guaranteed. God forbid, knock on wood, Joe could have, a career-ending injury next year. We don't know. I don't want that, obviously. No one wants that.
No.
We want to think about that. But we can't sit here and be like, we'll wait for you, Ben. Whenever you're ready. No, we need you now. We need you now. Nothing will frustrate me more if this team is playing, because they're playing really good basketball. They're playing, and also, too, another thing that's frustrating is I'm seeing the improvement already of guys that have been in the league less than he has.
Oh,
Look at Shake Milton. Look how he's come back.
Could you, and I know we talked about him yesterday, but what an indictment against Brett Brown.
Yes.
Could you imagine having Shake Milton have to compete with Furkan Korkmaz for minutes?
Right. Whew. Right. Ridiculous. But I'm seeing improvements in guys like that. Shake Milton, and listen, this was a really short offseason.
And not even just on your own team, like around the league.
Right. This was a really short offseason. Really short offseason. They had, 3 months?
Let me ask you this. A guy that we played against yesterday, significantly younger than Simmons. You know who I'm talking about?
A walking bucket, Tyler Hero.
Would you trade Simmons
Yes.
for him? Would you trade
Yes.
him? Would you trade him for Simmons?
No. Absolutely not. No.
Think about that.
I wouldn't do it. And no, absolutely. And Tyler Hero, I look for him.
How old is he? Was he 20?
20 years old.
He looks like some kid who would just be getting done playing with at the park. You go to the park.
Right.
I just got done running fives with him.
Right. Yeah, he does. But he is, first of all, he's not afraid of the moment. And he's confident in his game and his shooting. And he that's what he does. This is what I do. I'm going to take it. And I already see, as good as he played last year in the NBA Finals, I've seen improvements in him.
That's what I'm saying.
So that in their offseason, when did their offseason start? In the end of October? So how did he have time to improve, but you didn't? How? How is that possible? How, Sway? And then, again, going back to Shake has put on body mass.
Yeah.
He addressed that issue.
He was scrawny last year.
Yeah, how was he able to gain 10 pounds in 3 months? But you in 5 years have done nothing to dramatically improve your game. Nothing.
I don't have an answer.
Why am I angry about this again? The thing is,
moving on.
Here's the thing that's funny about this. When I read that quote, I didn't really react. But it's one of those things with Ben Simmons. The more you talk about him, the angrier you get. My levels was probably a 3 when we started this conversation. I'm now at a mock 10. I'm upset now.
We got other headlines in the NBA.
All right, so let's get to Houston, because Houston is big sad right now.
Woo.
Yo, so this is super uncomfortable and awkward. James Harden, before he was scheduled to leave, is scheduled to open up a restaurant in the Houston area. The restaurant was supposed to be called 13. It's scheduled to open the end of January. Houston is so upset with him. They've already left reviews of the restaurant that hasn't opened yet as a direct anger towards the situation. So I'm going to read some of these reviews. 1 star. Strippers could be better. Second review. 1 star. Trash, just like him. Third review. 1 star. The worst owned restaurants in Houston. Quality of the this is been my favorite. Quality of the food was just not good enough. Chemistry wise, I think the cook just didn't have any experience. This restaurant had much upside, but fell flat on his face when it came to showtime. Oh man!
Is he still opening the restaurant?
Well, yeah, he has no choice. He has to. Another 1 star. This restaurant can't be fixed. It's just not good enough. Another review, 1 star. I literally have done everything that I can. I mean, this situation is crazy. It's something I don't think can be fixed. He literally just quoted him for the press conference.
They're killing him on there.
Another 1 star. I told the chef to make the bread as soft as the owner, and it might taste just right. Who am I kidding? Still tastes weak AF.
That's funny.
So that's what's happening in Houston right now, and
they're killing him, and rightfully so.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. It's and like, you know, their hurt feelings is understandable because he took a raging dump on that city as he left.
Yeah.
And someone who proclaims to love them as much as he did, the way he treated them on the way out was wild disrespectful. And you know what? It's crazy he did this in the landscape of like LeBron James and how like what happened.
No, it's not. Like, think about who he is. Are you surprised?
I mean, a little bit, to be smarter than that, to think that, you know, I'm sure he was around for the decision and how bad that was in hindsight. And LeBron, I believe to this day, was not purposely trying to hurt Cleveland. I think he thought he was doing a good thing. I really do. I think he was trying to take something and try and turn it positive. It just didn't go that way. And I think he just misjudged the moment because he was young. He was young. But, bro, James Harden, you knew this was going to be bad. And, listen, I can't fault him for wanting to leave.
Shaq obliterated him on the post game yesterday.
I heard about this, but I didn't hear exactly what he said.
So
give me a little insight.
So, well, first off, Houston actually won the first game yesterday.
Christian Wood went off.
Well, props to Houston. Of course they were going to win. These guys haven't touched the basketball in like 4 years. They were excited to play. You know what I mean?
I did hear what Charles said, how they went from the Splash Brothers to the Dribble Brothers.
Yes.
James Harden, dribble.
So Shaq, first off, had a little funny interaction with what was it, Christian Wood? You said his name was? Did you hear about this?
I saw that. Yeah, I saw on the timeline.
He goes, honestly, I didn't know who you were really.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, come on, you
call him a casual.
You casual.
Yeah, he called him a casual.
So it's funny, but he Shaq pulled no punches when regarding Harden. Said for someone that Harden said, he gave everything. Shaq's like, no, you didn't. He's like, they gave you everything you wanted. You wanted a big man, they gave you Dwight Howard. You wanted Chris Paul, they gave you Chris Paul. You wanted your guy Westbrook, who's been your guy for forever.
Yeah.
They gave it to you. $30 million, $40 million, nothing. He's like, if you don't win it this year, he's like, you're a bust.
Go back to Game 7 against the Warriors a couple years ago.
I know.
When he shot 1 for 47. and
then after the game,
was
out. Whose birthday party was he at? Was it T.I.'s birthday party? I think.
It was
somebody. He was at somebody's birthday party.
Yeah. I mean,
like 2 hours after the game was over.
Mm-hmm. James Harden has not had much playoff success at all. Now, it didn't help in that game that Chris Paul was out injured, but still, you got the Warriors in Game 7. You're at home. You probably should win that game. That's a game we need 45 from you.
Yeah.
And you should have done that. And you didn't do anything close to that.
No.
You actually looked like you had never played. Like, people were joking around at it was like the Monstars, and someone had snatched his basketball ability. That's how bad it looked. He looked like he had never played basketball before. So, yeah, when I agree. Like, he has not done everything. He hasn't done right by the city. And James Harden kind of is a cautionary tale for how you treat superstars and how you do not treat superstars. Houston has to take some responsibility of the ownership, and Daryl Morey also, because they gave the man way too much.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter how great they are. You can't give in and give them everything. Like the perks and the things that he was allowed to do and get away with is of legendary proportions. And I don't know how any of that stuff lends to you being a great basketball player.
Something else, man. It's really something else.
Yeah, I mean, literally being able to, there was
he just honestly did whatever he wanted.
There was a leak last year in the bubble where, because listen, Russell Westbrook and him are very close.
Yes.
So I feel like Russell Westbrook doesn't want to throw him under the bus, but he could if he wanted to. And there was an instance that happened in the bubble where it was a film session, and Harden was late, and this was a typical thing. And Westbrook was like, just start the effing footage. He probably won't show up anyway. And that's how bad it got towards the end there with them. And really,
and Westbrook's the kind of guy, like, he's a gym rat.
Yes.
Say what you want about, say whatever you want about Russell Westbrook,
Yeah.
He's a gym rat.
Right.
Like, he will be in, like, we talk about the Mamba mentality.
Yeah.
Like, he's one of the guys that
he definitely has that. And, like, they both kind of wanted out, but they wanted out for very different reasons.
Yeah.
Like, Harden, whatever, wants to go to a winner, wants the scenery. I think Westbrook was done playing with Harden after just 1 year.
I agree.
He was like, this is not what I want to do. And because you look at him, the first clips of him being in Washington, he was ecstatic. He was loving it. Laughing in practice, whooping it up. He was loving it because even though they're not a great team, he had guys that are dedicated to basketball.
Well, think about, what does this say about James Harden then? He's got to play alongside some of the best players of his generation. Durant, Westbrook, Dwight Howard, Chris Paul. Now it's going to be Kyrie Irving.
Right.
You don't get a ring?
And because correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe he chose not to come back to Oklahoma City. Like, he wanted to be the man. I believe that's what really happened.
Yeah, but I also feel like yes, but also Houston backed up the Brinks truck.
True, but he wasn't comfortable being a sixth man on that team. He wanted to be the man.
He did, and I mean, and it like I don't think that, like, if you rewind it, Harden's not. I don't think anybody changes. Except maybe Oklahoma City offering him more money to stay.
Right. Oklahoma City is a small market team. They didn't have the capital to keep Westbrook, Harden, Durant, and Ibaka. Like, they weren't going to be able to keep all four of those. That wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
But he's put a bullseye on himself.
I'd wash my hands of it and just. Like, he would never play for me, so I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, like I said, with all that being considered, I still consider him a generational talent, and I still consider him, a guy who I would have taken. Like, again, the Maxey deal was a deal breaker for me. And that's why, to me, I was okay with them not having him. But
I agree.
We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to debut a brand new segment I'm very, very excited about. I think you're going to enjoy this. I think everyone is going to enjoy this. Brown Emery in the morning. Marcus Brown, Justin Emery. We'll be right back. Hi, I'm Marcus Brown. I'd like to talk to you today about Uncle Mike's Ice Cream. USA Today selected Uncle Mike's homemade ice cream as the best ice cream parlor in Pennsylvania. Uncle Mike's is a family-owned and dedicated to production of premium quality gourmet ice cream and sorbet. Made fresh daily on the premises using the highest quality ingredients available, Uncle Mike's features over 30 unique, delicious flavors offered in scoops, sundaes, shakes, and special order ice cream, cakes, and pies. Uncle Mike's homemade ice cream is located at 537 York Road. Warm Rest is open all year round. Go see Uncle Mike and tell him Brad and Emery sent you. Yeah, man. Brad Emery in the morning. Marcus Brown, Justin Emery. So
Last
excited.
segment
I'm
of
excited.
the week.
I'm excited.
Me too. It's really funny how this segment spurned because it started out as a joke that I made.
Yeah.
But I was just setting up the equipment one day.
Yeah, and then here we are. So the Flyers played the other day. They played the Penguins. Got off to a good start, 6-3 victory. Did you watch the game?
No. No, I don't.
Yeah, so this is spawned.
Was it a scrimmage or a real game?
It was a game.
It was
a
okay.
game. Game one. Sidney Crosby actually had a beautiful goal.
Really?
Did you see it?
No.
So this segment is spawned off of Justin's disdain for hockey. Anyone that knows anything about Justin Emery knows he is not a hockey guy.
Not at all.
And neither is he really a movie guy either.
Not at all.
So what we're going to do is, the name of this segment, first of all, is going to be called Hockey or Gnaw. And the way it's going to work is I'm going to throw some names at Justin. And he's going to have to decide, is this a hockey player or Gnaw? And I'm excited about this because I feel this is something that's going to be giving me loads of laughs.
Yeah, so all of our NHL listeners out there
are going to be cringing.
Yeah.
Are going to be cringing. Now, the way we're going to start this off is, what I want to do is, I'm going to give you it's like a lie detector. I'm going to give you a baseline test.
Okay.
Because I don't want people to think that
Right.
we're screwing around here. Okay. So I'm going to give you a baseline hockey or Gnaw.
Okay.
Okay. And if you get this wrong, I don't know. We might have to just stop this right here.
Okay.
All right. Hockey or Gnaw? Jaromir Jagr.
Hockey.
Okay. Hockey or Gnaw? Mario Lemieux.
Hockey.
Hockey or Gnaw? Joe Pesci.
No.
Okay. So that's the baseline right there. Those were layups. Okay. So now we're going to get into the actual contestants of hockey or Gnaw. Here we go. Let's see. I have a bunch of names here. Let's see where I'm going to start here. Okay. All right. Here we go. Hockey or Gnaw?
Okay.
Cam Neely.
Hockey?
Yes! Hockey! Correct. Hockey or Gnaw? Tim Curry.
Oh, no.
Look at you! 2 for 2. Okay. All right. Hockey or Gnaw? Sergei Fedorov.
Oh, hockey.
Who did he play for?
Detroit?
Look at you! What is this? Who is this person? Look at you. Hockey or Gnaw? Judd Apatow.
Oh, no.
Oh my God! You got it right.
Oh yeah,
you guessed it. Come on.
That was a guess.
That was one I thought for sure would be controversial. All right, hockey or Gnaw? Michael Cera.
No.
What are you doing? What? Yes.
Wait, actually, it's because I know who that is.
Okay. All right.
He's the guy from Superbad, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hockey or Gnaw? Eric Desjardins.
Oh, hockey. He was a Flyer, wasn't he?
He was a Flyer briefly.
Yeah.
You actually know a little more hockey than you thought you did.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Well, I mean, you're throwing out. These are very obvious hockey.
Yes, but the first week I didn't want to do too much.
I get you.
I want to do too much. I want to save.
It'll get progressively harder.
Progressively harder. Yeah, absolutely. First
I mean,
week,
you could run down the Flyers thing right now. I'd probably get half of those guys wrong.
Hockey or Gnaw? Henry Hill.
Hockey?
That is no.
No? Okay.
Henry Hill is from the lead character on Goodfellas.
Oh, okay.
Played by Ray Liotta. The movie is based on him. You never seen Goodfellas?
No.
Bro, you got to check that out. That's got to be done.
Eh.
That's a movie bucket list thing you got to do.
Nah, we'll see.
You're just like Amber. Just
Yeah.
I always say, hey, you see that? No, I didn't see that. What?
Yeah.
All right.
Never seen a good movie in my life.
Last one. Hockey or Gnaw? Adam Oates.
Oh, he's hockey.
What team?
Flyers.
Briefly. Boston fame, though.
Maybe. I'll take your word for it.
All right. Hockey or Gnaw? Roman Reigns.
No, he's a wrestler.
That's one to throw out in there randomly.
Yeah, no, he's a wrestler. I know that.
Oh, man. All right, so listen, we're going to stop it there. That was pretty good. Pretty good by you.
Yeah,
Pretty good first week.
There was a couple though that happened to hit right on the guess.
All right, so now I have a good baseline for so kind of average hockey knowledge.
Like if it's like when I'm driving around, I might have the Flyers game on.
Yeah.
So I'll hear random names in passing. Mm-hmm. I mean, I know who they are.
Next week, I'm gonna.
And also, I think you should disqualify anyone that plays for Vegas.
Agreed. Yeah.
Because I know the roster, so
man.
I would just anybody that plays for Vegas, I would disqualify them.
Okay. Connor McDavid.
Oh, he plays for Edmonton.
Okay.
I mean, the thing is, he's like this, the next Sidney Crosby. You know
Steven
what I mean?
Stamkos.
Tampa Bay.
Okay. All right. So now I have I wanted to kind of this week see
the stars of the sport.
Yes.
I'll know who they are.
Yes.
But get your Shake Miltons of the NHL.
Yeah, of the NHL, you're out.
No
well,
shot.
Next week, I'm coming strong.
Okay.
I'm just telling
okay.
you. Now I see where you're at. I'm coming strong next week. So I want to talk about another segment we got going on.
Yeah.
That I'm super excited about that we're going to debut next Friday. As I talked about earlier in the week, Justin and I are huge music fans. We're huge hip hop fans, and we are fans of the bars. You know what bars are?
Bars.
You know we know. Bars are technically the breakdown of the segments of the rhymes, but in the hip hop community, bars to us is something that made you go, bars. So we are starting off a segment next week, which we are titling Breakfast Bars, a.k.a. Freestyle Friday. Well, we'll be inviting a rapper to come on the show and to literally rap us off the air with a freestyle. It's going to start off with people we know, and hopefully as we expand it, we're looking to expand it to people submitting, and we will decide if you deserve to be on Breakfast Bars.
Yeah.
Because we're not just going to have anybody up here.
No.
There's a couple rappers mainstream right now that wouldn't make it on Breakfast Bars. I'm not going to name any names, but
there's more than a couple.
There's a lot of rappers we would not have on Breakfast Bars.
Yeah.
Lil Pump, not invited up to the show ever.
Who?
Little Xan,
no.
You can't come up here. We can't have you here.
No.
So we're looking for people that actually can spit. So listen, if you're listening right now, if you think you got it, add us. Brad Memory Pod. You know where to find us. All political media platforms.
Yes, sir.
We're excited about it. Now, I haven't talked to him specifically about next Friday yet, but I think it's only right that the man who crafted our incredible theme song start us off, Don Martin, a.k.a. 10 Stacks. So we're hoping to get him up here. I also have a couple other people that I think would do very, very well in Breakfast Bars. But we got a couple minutes to have a little fun. Who would be, in the mainstream rap community, who would be your dream to get on Breakfast Bars?
Cassidy.
I knew you were going to Cass. I'm going to go, I have a couple. Jada?
Well, I'm saying for this kind of setup.
Yes, for this segment.
Yeah.
Cassidy's Jada.
Yeah.
Push. Obviously Kendrick, J. Cole.
Yeah.
That's the type of quality of rap we want. Shady, obviously.
Yeah.
We want those type of bars. We want seriously. Everybody
knows I'm a huge Drake fan. I don't necessarily I'm not necessarily calling Drake up for the segment.
No. Oh, did you hear what Funkmaster Flex said about him recently?
No.
This is interesting. So he did an IG Live with Gilly the Kid from the $1 Million Worth of Game podcast.
Yeah.
And they did an IG Live together where Flex was talking about Drake a little bit. And he basically said, I'm paraphrasing here, that if it wasn't for the ghostwriting incident in 2014, or what that year? 2014, 2015.
Yeah, whatever it was, yeah.
Drake would go down as the greatest rapper of all time. He thinks that incident is the reason why he won't.
I disagree. And I don't and I'm not disagreeing because of that. I disagree because I don't think he would ever have gone down that way.
I've said about Drake that this decade is the greatest run of singles I've ever heard in my life from an artist.
Yeah.
I would agree with that, but I disagree also with that. And also,
I don't think that he ever he will go down as a fantastic entertainer and musician and artist, but I don't think he was ever going to go down as the greatest rapper of all time, with or without this.
Yes. Do you remember the freestyle he did with Flex with the BlackBerry back in 2009? Did you ever see that clip?
I'm sure I have. I just don't recall.
So he did
right
a
now.
freestyle to BlackBerry. It looks like he was reading from the BlackBerry, trying to convince people that this was written on the spot. Flex has now come out and said that they pre-rehearsed and practiced that before he even went on the air. But he wanted to portray it like it was a freestyle. That's why he was looking at his BlackBerry to give the moment that it actually happened in real time.
Oh, I mean, I've seen other. The thing is, I've seen that with other rappers too. Like it's
It's
not just
in 2021. That doesn't bother me anymore.
Yeah, no.
I don't care about that stuff anymore.
I don't care
because
either.
I look at it as strictly from an entertainment standpoint what hip hop is. So listen, next week,
Yes.
next Friday, Breakfast Bars, Freestyle Fridays, and we will see you on Monday at Marcus B. Tweetin across all social media platforms.
At Justin Emery Show everywhere, but only interact on Twitter.
Bradham Emery Pod at everywhere.
Everywhere. Listen to the show on every platform. And 10 a.m.
Exactly. Monday morning we will see
10
you.
a.m. Monday.
For Justin Emery,
Yes.
I am Marcus Bradham, reminding you, you can be with us or you can be against us, but you're never going to stop us late.